We are stronger together.
We push our teams to excel.
In the classroom,
On the court,
in the community,
together we are committed and uplifting.
strong and authentic.
We are building the next generation.
A generation with integrity.
And we are doing it our way.
Supporting one another,
working towards the same vision,
Stronger together.
This is the CUSA way.
Hey FIU Panther fans, please join us March 13th through the 16th as the Conference USA Basketball Tournament heads back to Frisco, Texas. It's a great event, both inside and outside the arena, so plan to be there and cheer us on.
We're a university founded on the side of an airport, reaching new heights. It's in our DNA. And since then, we've dedicated ourselves to solving the big problems facing our community and the world. We believe that crazy startup idea isn't so crazy, that families without healthcare shouldn't have to go it alone. We believe we can be better prepared for the next hurricane, and that our coral reefs can be saved. And that's because, above all else, we believe in you.
Hey Panther fans, please join us March 13th through the 16th as the CUSA Basketball Tournament heads back to Frisco, Texas. It's an unbelievable event, both inside and outside the arena. Please come and join us and cheer us on.
We are stronger together.
we push our teams to excel.
in the classroom,
On the court,
In the community,
together we are committed and uplifting.
Strong and authentic.
We are building the next generation.
A generation with integrity.
and we're doing it our way.
Supporting one another, working towards the same vision.
Stronger together.
This is the CUSA way.
Well, things starting to get very interesting as conference tournament time approaches. Mini conference brackets, well, they're already set. For the Panthers, 2 games to go before Wheels Up to Frisco. A couple hours to go until Wheels Up to Marshall. The conference tournament is on its way. Glad to have you with us. It's Panther Talk Live at the Graham Center here on the campus of FIU. Another Monday edition as we get close to the madness of March. AJ Ricketts, Jeremy Ballard. Coach, congratulations on another win. It's been a while since you guys have picked up a number in the loss column now. Once you play Marshall this upcoming Wednesday, I think it'll be almost a month since you guys picked up a loss, coming off an 83-76 win this weekend yesterday against La Tech. 4 in a row, and a great second half down the stretch, guys making big plays. And again, execution down the stretch, you got to love it.
Yeah, well, the execution down the stretch and the success that we've been able to experience on the court is all due to what we've done on the practice court. And, like you said, this past month it has been our best stretch of practicing that we've had in a long time, and we've seen some direct correlation from those practices. So really proud of the guys, really proud of them buying into attacking each day. We talk about going 1-0 every day, 1-0 in practice, 1-0 in the weight room, 1-0 in a shooting workout, and that allows you to go 1-0 on game day. So we're really happy for the guys, and hopefully we can continue that, quick turnaround, which we haven't had.
Yeah.
We've had 2 games in the last 2 weeks, and now we've got a quick turnaround flying out today to go to Marshall and hopefully try to avenge a road loss from earlier in the year.
What's been really fun to watch over the course of this 4-game win streak is the defensive intensity and the execution, not just with the pressure, which has been a staple of the team all year, really in the half court. After the loss to UTEP, but that before this win streak began, the team giving up 82 points per game. Obviously, that's a correlation with the tempo, but 82. Over this 4-game streak, 69 points per game. And there's the Rice game, 33 turnovers. I mean, it's been a real joy to watch the defense.
Yeah, well, it's been great for our guys to see that we can get stops and be a good defensive team, even if we're not turning a team over 20-plus times a game. And, yesterday's game is a perfect example of that. I believe La Tech only turned it over 11 times, but we held them to 39% shooting. We out-rebounded them. So we got kind of old-fashioned stops, without turning the team over. Now, of course, we love to turn people over. We love to get out and run and try to score from turning people over. But if it's going to take, a good old-fashioned, 25-second on the shot clock and we get a stop, then that's what it takes. And we tell our guys it takes what it takes to be great, and you have to be able to adapt to how the game is being played and be successful in whatever way the game goes.
All right, let's take a look at some of those highlights, the key moments, the key plays from yesterday's 83-76, where in the second time you played La Tech at about 3 or 4. They weren't here that long ago. Eric Conkle and company back down here in South Florida. Next to last game, there's Brian Beard, 1,000 points. And what a great milestone.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to score 1,000 points in 2 seasons is a testament to him, but also a testament to his teammates.
How about this? This looked like you back in the day, right? Zay flying.
Yeah, I look like one of the guys in blue getting dunked on probably. But no, this is a big-time play. Great hustle by O, and great job finishing it off by Zay.
And what a game, too, from Devon Andrews, making plays underneath, finding good mismatches. That was an and one there. He had 21 and 5 and 12 for 15 from the free throw line, getting it done.
Yeah, getting to the foul line 15 times really speaks to how aggressive he was in the paint, and also for our guys' ability of finding him down there.
And this was the sequence that kind of helps you guys take control. Beard got a layup, no help came. You force a turnover, and then a bucket from Osagai the next possession. That was a key sequence there. Up 1, and then all of a sudden you're up 5.
Yeah, I mean, the game came down to the wire. I think we ended up winning by 7, but, I mean, it was a, one-possession ball game for most of the game. And, when it got down to the wire, we did a good job of executing, getting our floor spaced, and Brian took advantage of that and gave us a really nice finish.
All right, so we're in the month of March now. Conference tournament about to begin. I want to talk some March Madness storylines in your past and your history and the best month of basketball by far. Let's start off with some of the bright moments. In your history, coaching, playing, as a fan growing up, what's your best March memory?
Well, coaching for sure. It was, I believe it was 2015. We had an awesome team at VCU. I was an assistant at VCU at the time, and our most valuable player, we were 18-3. We had played the toughest non-conference schedule in the country. We had a really good team. I don't think we could have really just walked away with the regular season championship. But he goes down, blows out his knee, and I think we lose like 4 out of the next 5. We lost 2 buzzer beaters, lost an overtime game. And so we lost the bye going into the tournament. We had to go play 4 games in 4 days in the A-10 tournament in Brooklyn, and we did. We called it the revenge tour. We beat everyone we played had beaten us in the regular season, and we beat them all to win the A-10 championship and cut down the net. So that was by far the best experience that I've had as a player and a coach. And, it really speaks to the ability of a team to bond together through adversity and what a strong will can do for you.
Yeah, you don't want to see VCU in the A-10 tournament. You don't want to see them in the NCAA. So you guys have built a brand. Undoubtedly, I still remember when I was a Duke fan growing up, and Eric Maynor.
Yep,
that jumper over John Shire.
Hey, Joey Rodriguez's teammate and best friend.
Yep, and Joey obviously is a Final Four point guard in his day. All right, conversely, I hate to bring it up, but both sides of the aisle, March is about bright moments and heartbreak as well. What was the most heartbreaking moment for you as a coach, player, fan?
Yeah, I would have to say my senior year playing, we had a really good team. We finished second in the Patriot League and really brought a lot of momentum going into the tournament. We had actually beat American on a half-court shot on our senior game.
That was on Sports Center.
Yeah, it was on Sports Center. So, I felt really good about our chances of winning it, and then we lost in the first round. And, it always, it is devastating to lose and for your season to end, but for your career to end, that's got to be the toughest one.
No doubt about that. All right, which one is more impressive to you? Which buzzer beater? Christian Leitner's turnaround jumper against Kentucky in '92, or Chris Jenkins for the national championship against Carolina a couple of years ago?
Well, I mean, I think obviously the most iconic one would be Christian Leitner.
Yeah.
But anytime you have a walk-off shot to win a national championship, you can't top that. So I got to go with that.
I think the debate with that hinges on, well, it was a tie game versus Duke trailing by 1.
Yeah.
So if he misses that shot, they still go to overtime. Tell you what, though, if Gordon Hayward hits that half-court shot for Butler in 2011, 2010, that's probably going down as the best shot
absolutely. That would take
it. Hometown, I think they slept in their dorms.
Right before that would take the cake.
Championship. Coach, who'd you grow up rooting for in Atlanta?
Yeah,
Georgia Tech, SEC.
So I was a big Georgia Tech fan. The first teams that I could remember were the Lethal Weapon 3 teams that Georgia Tech had. They had Kenny Anderson, Dennis Scott, and Brian Oliver, and I was a huge fan. Whenever they would lose, I would cry. So I was really into that.
Yeah, I feel that.
And but I like the hometown teams. I rooted for Georgia Tech. I rooted for Georgia. So I grew up cheering for those guys really hard.
Georgia Tech really was more of the team in Atlanta at the time rather than the Hawks. Is that
so
fair to say?
That it was. I mean, it's most of the Southeast, is kind of college sport territory. But, yeah, I mean, those were iconic teams. Bobby Crimmins was the coach. Those were great players. Great players followed that. Travis Best, Stephon Marbury. So some of my favorite basketball players of all time were Georgia Tech basketball players.
Good games in the Alexander Memorial Coliseum.
There you go, the Thriller Dome.
Back in the day, that place got loud. All right, moving forward, previewing the final 2 regular season games. Got a rematch with Marshall up in West Virginia this upcoming Wednesday, and then we'll have North Texas at home on Saturday. Of course, played both of these teams before, and both have been very good games. At Marshall, we put up about 100 points. It was an up-and-down game. A lot of big shots made. John Elmore had a great game for the Herd. So you're going up there facing a former NCAA tournament team. They reached the second round last year. What adjustments do you expect to try to make, and what kind of game do you expect to see? Maybe it's probably going to be a similar type of tilt as you saw last time.
Yeah, well, I actually feel like going into the last game at Marshall, both us and Marshall were playing good basketball at the time. We were coming off a road win at Western Kentucky, and we did a lot of good things in that game. We didn't get nearly enough stops, and we turned the ball over too much. So I think both teams are similar in that we're going to play really fast. We're high-scoring offenses, and we like to turn teams over. So I think the team that can consistently try to get some stops while also taking care of the ball on the other end, I think they have the upper hand. But I feel like we're coming into this game playing our best basketball of the season. But Marshall's playing really good basketball right now too, and it's going to be a track meet. It'll be fun to watch. Be a lot of points scored. A lot of exciting plays.
Yeah, Marshall, of course, USA champions, just narrowly over Western Kentucky last year. Ended up getting that first round upset in the NCAA tournament. They've had some share of struggles in conference play, but I mean, CUSA is a rigor. It's a tough test each game in and game out, and they started to turn things around up in West Virginia with Dan D'Antoni and company. Should be a fun matchup before we host North Texas again this Saturday. Maybe we'll see some more high-flying Isaiah Banks dunks. Wouldn't be surprised to see more of that.
Yeah, we'll have the opportunity to do it for sure.
Yeah, you had a big game yesterday. All right, Coach, best of luck in West Virginia. We'll see you when you get back.
Right, appreciate
the time. It's Jeremy Bell. We'll talk with Tierra Malcolm when we come back on PantherTalk Live.
We are stronger together.
We push our teams to excel.
In the classroom,
On the court,
In the community,
together we are committed and uplifting.
Strong and authentic.
We are building the next generation.
A generation with integrity.
And we are doing it our way.
supporting one another.
Working towards the same vision.
Stronger together.
This is the CUSA way.
Hey FIU Panther fans, please join us March 13th through the 16th as the Conference USA basketball tournament heads back to Frisco, Texas. It's a great event, both inside and outside the arena, so plan to be there and cheer us on.
We're a university founded on the side of an airport, reaching new heights. It's in our DNA. And since then, we've dedicated ourselves to solving the big problems facing our community and the world. We believe that crazy startup idea isn't so crazy, that families without health care shouldn't have to go it alone. We believe we can be better prepared for the next hurricane, and that our coral reefs can be saved. And that's because, above all else, we believe in you.
Hey Panther fans, please join us March 13th through the 16th as the CUSA basketball tournament heads back to Frisco, Texas. It's an unbelievable event, both inside and outside the arena. Please come and join us and cheer us on.
We are stronger together.
We push our teams to excel.
In the classroom,
On the court,
In the community,
together we are committed and uplifting.
Strong and authentic.
We are building the next generation.
A generation with integrity.
and we're doing it our way.
Supporting one another. Working towards the same vision.
Stronger together.
This is the CUSA way.
This is Panther Talk Live, brought to you by the Florida Lottery. The Florida Lottery has provided millions of dollars in scholarships for collegiate-bound students throughout the past 10, 20 years. Follow the Florida Lottery, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram today. What a weekend it was, by the way, for the FIU swim and dive team. I tell you what, this program, they're a dynasty, no doubt about it. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, but 5 conference championships in a row. For the squad heading up to Atlanta this past weekend, and there's the celebration For another wonderful moment for FIU Swim and Dive. They're back on campus, the conference championship trophy, safe and secure. We're gonna have to make more space. They've got 5 of them now. I don't know where they're gonna put it. Congrats to the ladies of FIU Swim and Dive. And with that, we welcome you back to the FIU Graham Center. AJ Ricketts, Tierra Malcolm. All right, we're moving forward. A big game coming up for you guys. We'll recap. Charlotte, real quick. Look, you lost by 15 to them on the road. It wasn't a 15-point game. I don't think at any point. It was 1-2 possessions most of the way, a 1-point game at the half. Tough third quarter makes it difficult to come back. But again, you get a great game from Sonera. 20 and 13 from her as a freshman. What are your impressions from this weekend's game?
I think overall, I was with 2:14 to go, it was a 1-point game, and then with a minute and 31 seconds, we were down 3,
right there.
And we missed a layup with the chance. So you just talk about being able to like catch breaks, and but overall, it was good to see them kind of really buy into some of the defensive schemes that we were doing. I thought that we gave up way too many extra possessions, and when you do that and you're in a tight game, I mean, it normally goes to the team that's most aggressive in those instances.
It seems as the course of the year has gone along, you haven't been afraid to really put pressure on other teams, whether it's three-quarters court trapping or just full court man-to-man to kind of slow them down a little bit. Despite the lack of depth, I mean, you're working them, and it's paid off at times.
Yeah, and what we do is, I mean, we just try to mix different people up in different spots, so we got to kind of have to kind of be creative as to what we're going to do with that. Mixing up some length, mixing up a little bit more athleticism at the top. They did a really good job of applying pressure in the game on Saturday.
What was the most encouraging aspect of the game against Charlotte? Again, you were in it late, but what encouraged you?
I think the runs, obviously we started off, I thought both teams started off kind of slow, but they were able to kind of get some offensive rebounds, get some things inside, and we went down big, and then, they were able to kind of fight their way out. And even throughout the third quarter, we went down again, and they were able to fight their way back in it to only be down by 1 with 2:14 left in the game.
Yeah, it was a good fight from the group. All right, one regular season game remaining. What do you emphasize? What do you want really executed? What kind of mentality do you want to see from your team in the final regular season?
Honestly, I want to see us be able to just kind of put everything together. I mean, we've been talking about the balance between the offense and the defense, the balance between the 4 quarters. I want to be able to see us just kind of finally put something together, and see what the outcome is. And I promise you that it'll be a really good one if we put a full effort together.
I'll tell you what, when you get some reinforcements in and get a little more depth, I think those tough third quarters that we've seen throughout the year will start to disappear or become far few in between. And then tough, occasionally the fourth, but really there's been so many games this year against very talented teams, former tournament teams. You've been right in it in the first half. How much do you feel depth is not the reason, but it contributes to maybe those tough second half stretches?
I mean, we're playing 8 or 9, and when you look across the board, like a lot of people are down to 7, 8 man rotations. It's just that we only have the 8 or 9 to go with, so that just makes it look and appear different. But if we were probably at this point in time and we had a full roster, it would probably be maybe a couple more minutes between 10, 11, 12.
Maybe even in practice, just to have more bodies. Well, some of those reinforcements, obviously highly touted in high school. And I know we saw Alana Swift join the 1,000-point club in her high school. How excited are you to get some of these new freshmen in coming up next year? Have very good credentials.
I'm very, very excited. I mean, you talk about young ladies that really love the game of basketball and that are invested. I talked to Fuji the other day, and she's talking about, I'm back to lifting, and she's really excited about that, and just talking about different aspects of their game. And Cheyenne just lost in the championship in double overtime. But, I think they all provide something that we don't already have within the program. So just to see them, kind of get in and get their feet wet and just kind of help us.
All right, Coach, we were talking with Jeremy a little bit about some of his favorite moments and memories from March. Obviously, this is the best month in college basketball, best month of the year. So let's start with whether growing up as a fan, following the game, a player, Delaware, a coach since then, your favorite, your most meaningful March memory.
It had to be coaching as an assistant coach at Delaware when we went to the Sweet 16. So we hosted the first and second round, ended up beating West Virginia, and we beat North Carolina to go and play in the Sweet 16. So really, really good. We ended up losing to Kentucky, and if we would have beat Kentucky, we would have had UConn. So.
Oh, goodness. Well, I'll tell you, I know and those games, I assume, were just packed to the rips. Because those CAA teams, and anytime someone Power 5 comes in, or you combine that with an NCAA tournament, it is just an electric environment.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was that with Tia Martin.
It was.
She
It was.
there? Yeah.
And it was Elena's senior year.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what a atmosphere.
Yeah.
That certainly was. All right. Conversely, got to go the other side. Only one team wins the national championship. What was the worst March memory? The biggest heartbreak for you in the month of March?
For me, I would say, so we had and believe it or not, I mean, Old Dominion used to be in the CAA. So my senior year, we broke their streak of like 111 home conference wins. You know, we swept them for the first time. They haven't swept them forever.
Yeah.
And then we end up losing to them in overtime in the championship game. So that was probably the biggest heartbreak. And, you know, just thinking that we had played a tough enough schedule to get an at-large bid. Yeah. And, you know, we didn't. We ended up going to the NIT, and the team found out later the team that they picked probably ahead of us as an at-large bid, their best player ended up tearing her ACL in the conference tournament.
Oh, wow.
So didn't play for the rest of, you know, the NCAA tournament or anything like that. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move forward to buzzer beaters, and I'm gonna add an extra one in here. I asked Jeremy Christian Leitner's turnaround buzzer beater in '92 against Kentucky, or Chris Jenkins for the national championship with Villanova a couple years ago.
I'm a Duke fan, so.
Well, there's plenty of heartbreak there. We talked about VCU's buzzer beater over them in '06. I'm gonna add the buzzer beater, I think, for South Carolina against UConn a couple years ago. Which is the best out of those three?
Duke. Leitner.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Everybody hates Leitner.
All right, we're on the same page as former big Duke fans. I grew up watching J.J. Redick and the Duke Blue Devils and being a big fan of them. I still listen to J.J. Redick's podcast. It's a great one, sponsored by The Ringer. So I'm on Twitter. I see you were listening to Kyle Adams' podcast, a prevalent coach, and he had Khadijah Head and Diane Richards, the head coach of Towson, on it. And you're talking about things you picked up on it and things you were learning. What did you pick up from that podcast, from those coaches, and how much do you try to listen to things like that and learn and pick up things and just see different ways of things?
I'm starting to get into podcasts. Actually, my assistant coach, Kiki Miles, is the one, you know, what podcast do you listen to? And I'm like, podcast? I don't listen to anything, but let me start.
Yeah.
But normally I'm listen to music to try to keep myself awake, and it was, you know, I started my drive at 10, and I didn't end up getting home till like 1:30. Yeah. So I said, let's ditch the music and let's listen to a podcast. But they just talked about just kind of your network, and really, really investing in that and being able to kind of use that and relying on people and depending on people through good, bad. You know, sometimes there's things that happen that we don't necessarily want to share outside of our program, but you know, just understanding that it's okay, because some of the issues that you think that you're going through, especially me as a first-time head coach, you know, I think that I may be the only one, but there's other people, you know, on teams that are winning a whole lot, and then on teams that are kind of in the same position as we are with not winning as much. But just being willing to share and being willing to be open and being an open vessel. And, you know, Diane Richardson really talked about the family aspect between, you know, her staff and really pouring into them and trying to help them to become as best that they can be at their positions. And, you know, outside of taking care of my players, that's probably one of the things that, you know, I hope that I do the best, and just preparing my staff for, hey, what is it that you want to do, you know, giving them the hands-on experience.
Well, you see that fellowship even at the men's game. You guys all hanging out, supporting each other, vice versa, you know, in the cabanas. This isn't just work. This is where you're here on the weekends and putting in the film and supporting the other programs and teams. Well, Coach, best of luck in the final regular season game. We'll see how everything shakes out, but appreciate the time as always.
Thank you.
That's Tierra Malcolm. That's another edition of Panther Talk Live. We'll see you next week. Conference tournaments are approaching. Been a lot of fun throughout the year. We'll see how it all shakes out. I'm AJ Ricketts, live from the Graham Center. You've been watching Panther Talk Live. We'll see you next week. Have a good Monday. Make it a good week.